And welcome into the Main Event Broadcasting Network. Piedmont Lions baseball here on YouTube. I'm Joseph Garwood along with Danielle Percival for today's first game of this doubleheader against Methodist. Lions enter with a 6-4 record. Monarchs coming in at 6-5, so Danielle, should be a pretty even matchup coming up here today.
Yeah, should be a good one. Of course, former conference competitors from the USA South days. Plenty of history between these two opponents. Really looking forward to being out here on a gorgeous day. It's going to be a bit breezy out here today, but should be a nice one for this doubleheader.
We'll run down the Methodist lineup real quick. Leading things off will be the third baseman, Tristan Melvin. Batting second, the center fielder, Jackson Deal. On the 3 spot is the catcher, Hunter Holman. Left fielder, difficult out, it could be in this lineup. It's a left fielder, Banks Hartman. The 5th hitter is the DH, Jackson Kuhn. Banks Ingalls, the first baseman, hitting 6th. Rounding out the lineup for the Monarchs, the shortstop, Caleb Rogers. The second baseman, Brandon Mauger. And the right fielder, Caleb Green. On the mound for the Lions, Zeke Swartz, a left-hander. Danielle, he's been very impressive. ERA under 2 through his first 3 starts of the season.
Yeah, kind of in an unfortunate circumstance for him. Doesn't have a decision yet on the season, but has been pitching lights out. Probably one of the most successful pitchers on the staff, of course, earning that first spot in the starting rotation. Has pitched just over 16 innings so far this season through those 3 starts and has a team-high 22 strikeouts.
Yeah, strikeout pitch, really important for Swartz, especially on a day like today with high sky, sunny day, wind blowing. It's going to make things a little bit difficult on these Piedmont fielders. We'll set the Piedmont defense. Left to right in the outfield, we got Isaac Molinak getting a start in left field today. Cole Ellis mans center. The right fielder is Trace Kate. On left side of the infield, always steady Kyle Carlson and Nathan Mix. His double play partner is Colton Hicks at second base, with Owen Helgeson rock solid on defense at first base, and outstanding defensive catcher in Tyler Nelson. So we're ready to go. Tristan Melvin will be the leadoff hitter, stepping into the box. Comes in, struggling a little bit at the plate. It's a 229 average. Does get on base at a 406 clip, though. So we'll see what Swartz has in store to start things off. The left-hander fires a fastball down the middle of the plate. Foul off to the right by Melvin.
104 first pitch, a little bit long plate meeting, and a couple minutes late on the start, but we got a long day ahead of us. What's 4 minutes?
We always love the first game of a doubleheader starting a few minutes late, but we'll see if we can. Swartz is a quick worker, so we'll see if he can make up that time on the mound as he misses down and away, even things up for ball 1. That one will dip just inside and below the zone as Melvin has worked himself into a 2-1 advantage. As we mentioned, a little breezy today. Mid-50s or high 50s, low 60s temperature. It's going to drop as we get into game 2. Swartz finds the outside corner there. That was a nice pitch from Zeke, who has really had a nice, steady progression in his career for Piedmont. Has consistently gotten better, and now he's established himself as the Friday guy. This one's chopped up the middle. To his left goes Mix. Quick transfer, had a little bit of trouble, and the throw was offline. Looks like, I would say that would probably be an infield hit. He was going to have trouble anyway. The throw being offline didn't really matter. It was really Mix's having trouble getting that ball out of his glove that cost him there.
Tough break, which has kind of been the story of Zeke's season so far, as he in his last outing in the tournament in Tennessee against Mary Washington. That was just a 2-1 game, came out, but the Lions were able to eventually take the lead and get the win, but so far still struggling to have that work behind him. And the offense really has put forth a good effort, but that last weekend kind of struggled. It'll be interesting to see today whether those bats are able to heat up, with, of course, the wind kind of playing a factor in that as well.
Yeah, Swartz pitched well. Sometimes to get a win as a starting pitcher, a lot of things have to go right. You have to pitch well yourself, but also the offense has to score while you're in the game. But certainly he has given the Lions a chance to win each time he has towed the rubber. Center fielder Jackson Deal will step in for the Monarchs, and that will find the zone for a strike. Runner at first base is Melvin. He has 5 out of 5 on stolen bases, so he is a threat to run. And that one will find the zone as well. Looks like an off-speed pitch there from Swartz. And he has jumped ahead in the count. That's why you get a big gust of wind as we see the American flag out there in right center whipping around.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see how that wind does impact this game and really which direction it's going to go, because we know that this ballpark is one that has a tendency to send them out if you're going to right field. Right now it's kind of blowing in that direction, so it'll be interesting to see if that does play any factor on some deep fly balls.
Yeah, looking at Methodist lineup real quick, they are all right-handed except for the cleanup man, Banks Hartman. Lions heavily right-handed as well. That one's poked out toward right field. Kate is there for out number 1. Nice little bounce back from Swartz after the infield hit to start the game. And now we'll have the number 3 hitter, the catcher Hunter Holman. Holman, 395 average coming in, getting on base at a 500 clip, 474 slugging, so he has been a tough out in this early part of the season. To correct something I said earlier, that Methodist only had 1 left-handed hitter. They actually have 2. Holman hits from the left side, throws from the right, and Hartman on deck hitter. So 2 consecutive lefties for Swartz. We'll see if he can take advantage of the advantage on the platoon that he has going left on left, as the first pitch misses the zone for ball number 1. Swartz will check on the runner. We'll see if the left-handed Swartz can neutralize the running game. Nelson also a very good arm behind the plate. That one's breaking ball, does not get the chase, sailed out of the zone, 1-1 the count.
Talked about the wind, 17 miles an hour right now, projected to be about a 20-mile-an-hour wind throughout the day. Of course, this on the day of the time change, though, so we are going to have daylight a little bit longer as we're out here for a long one here at Loudermilk Field.
Sure, it made it a little tougher for the players to get up and ready for this one. So we'll see if Methodist looks a little, maybe a little sleepy early as Swartz wakes up Holman with a high and tight fastball to run the count 2-1. Swartz will take a little extra time, gather himself. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this affects players in the field, with especially on fly balls. And that one will find the top of the strike zone. Good pitch by Swartz to get back in the count. He has issued 8 walks in his 3 starts so far, maybe a little higher than Piedmont coach Justin Scally would like, but the strikeout numbers are also very good. He'll do the old step off to check on Melvin, who dives back in safely. The advantage of being a left-handed pitcher is you have more ways to be able to hold on the runner at first base because they're not to your back. You can see them. You can check on those leads a little bit easier. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike number 2. Good pitch, though, by Swartz to get back into the count. Count runs full. I'll check again. The old oxymoron I've heard before is that nothing slows down a baseball game like speed. Because you are looking to check on runners consistently, which tends to run these games a little bit longer. That one's a good swing, fouled straight back by Holman.
We've had some luck so far, even though we've had some high-scoring games. The pace of play has been steady so far. Now we'll just knock on wood and hope we can hold out for the rest of today.
Especially in game 1. Well, Swartz will check again.
We had multiple tournaments to start the year, lots of action at Loudermilk Field. Lions were finally on the road and now back, of course, with a little bit altered schedule this weekend because of the rain, but fortunately found some beautiful daylight to play in today and hopefully tomorrow as well.
Runner goes, pitches high and away, and a free pass issued to Holman. So now Swartz is going to have to work out of a little bit of a jam here in the first inning, and it'll be the left fielder, Banks Hartman. Hartman, about as good a start to your career as you can have. He has won USA South Rookie of the Week 2 of the first 3 weeks the award has been given out. And he is off to a good start and not somebody you really want to face with multiple runners on.
Tough situation with the first runner reaching on the tough play to make from Mix. Second, losing him after falling behind in the count, working your way back to a full count. And unfortunately, 2 on, but maybe an opportunity for a double play to get out of the jam here early in the first.
Could not start the at-bat any better. Nice curveball there by Swartz. Froze Hartman there for a called strike 1. Goes back to the same pitch, and Hartman took a hack at that one and was not even close. So now Swartz, he's got no 2. He's not gone. He's gone off speed both times. We'll see if he goes with the breaking ball the 3rd straight time. And he went fastball, and Hartman almost took that one out of Nelson's mitt. He was way late on that and fouled it away past third base. Just stay alive. I mean, ideally right here, you're going to get a ground ball at somebody. You can roll 2 and get out of this inning on 1 pitch. Another fastball, another very late swing there by Hartman. Fouls it off to the left and out of play. Colton Hicks at second base, holding the runner. Helgeson playing behind the bag at first. Big hole on the right side for the left-handed hitting Hartman. Another 0-2, check swing, it doesn't matter. It's a called strike 3 on the outside corner, and Swartz with a big bounce back strikeout there.
No surprise there from Swartz with the team leading now 23 strikeouts on the season through those 3 starts so far. Of course, this being the 4th today.
Now batting the DH, Jackson Kuhn. Big spot here. And another kind of half swing. Looks like the last couple at bats, Swartz, after the walk, he's really found his groove. Kuhn enters, batting average in the 260s. On base percentage nearing 400 though, and that's a big cut and a miss. And for the 2nd straight hitter, Swartz has jumped ahead in the count 0-2.
And of course, being the usual Friday starter, back-to-back weekends with a little bit of an altered schedule, playing on Saturday last week for his start, and then of course today with the doubleheader on Sunday. A little bit of different routine there, and working to get settled in.
Oh, he's like almost got the runner picked off. Nobody was covering second base, so Melvin will scamper back to second base. Almost an easier way to get out of the inning, but he'll still have the advantage 0-2. Yeah, Danielle, you make a good point. Like we'll see how that affects him. A lot of pitchers are very routine oriented, so the extra day of rest could help in the fact that, maybe a little more life in the arm, extra day of rest, but we'll see. 0-2, I think he's got a little more life in the arm. That was a swing and a miss, and Swartz fans 2 in the inning, Strands 2 as well. We are scoreless, headed to the bottom of the 1st. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field. We go to the bottom of the 1st inning. Piedmont's game one of this doubleheader for Piedmont against Methodist. We'll set the Piedmont lineup. Coming up to bat will be the center fielder Cole Ellis, who's been off to an outstanding season. Second baseman Colton Hicks will hit second. Right fielder Trace Kate in the 3 spot. Kyle Carlson will hit cleanup and play third. The DH Mac Barton is in the 5 spot. The catcher Tyler Nelson will hit 6. Rounding out the last 3, the left fielder Isaac Molinak gets the start. First baseman is number 10, Owen Helgeson. He hits 8th. And Nathan Mix, who has provided some offensive punch out of that 9 spot in the order. He will round things out. And they're going to face the right-hander Andrew Bauer, off to a 1-2 start, an ERA over 6, nearly as many walks as strikeouts. So Bauer obviously trying to right the ship a little bit here on a Sunday afternoon.
Cole Ellis coming in has appeared in 6 games so far, 6 of the 10. Missed opening weekend, and then I believe it was the Ferrum contest last game of the weekend. Last weekend he did not appear, but great to see him back in the order. Fantastic leadoff hitter for the Lions.
Yeah, he's really been the table setter the last couple of years for Piedmont. And they're getting a little more of a promotion, let's say, moving over to center field defensively for the departed Carter Ballstat, who manned that position for, it seemed like, forever.
Well, it seems like about as long as you and I have been around, there's been a Ballstat around.
Yeah, I don't think either one of us, it's been a long time since we remember a Piedmont game where a Ballstat is not starting in center field. We got to go way back in the archives for that. Ellis stands in. That one's chopped, just foul past third base. Yeah, Ellis, he missed that opening weekend. Piedmont, obviously, they played some tough competition, but they lost all 3 of those games. Ellis returned for the next weekend of tournament action. Piedmont swept that series 3-0, and then ended up splitting the 2 games that Ellis played in back in Tennessee. Chopper to the third. Nice play across the diamond by the third baseman. That was Tristan Melvin cutting across. That's a play that the third baseman kind of has to make. If that gets to the shortstop, Ellis has too much speed. That's going to be a single. Now we'll see a second baseman, Colton Hicks. Hicks comes in, 258 average. But he has 11 walks, which is by far the most on the team. So he's getting on base at 477. So even though the batting average isn't there, he's doing his job, which is to get on base ahead of powerful hitters in the middle of the Piedmont order. And Bauer pumps a couple strikes over to jump ahead of Hicks 0-2.
When he's been able to get on, he has done the work around the base paths as well. 11 of 12 on stolen bases.
Bauer tries to go off speed and floats that one high. Good take by Hicks to make it 1-2. Breaking ball, that one skied foul territory. The catcher Holman giving chase, and he runs just out of room. Big hop off of the concrete steps there.
I think that one might have caught some fans off guard a little bit as well, as that one landed and got a great reaction from the crowd. I don't think they realized they were getting that close to the action.
Yeah, you need to, you never know what's going to happen. Got to keep your head on the swivel out here. That ball was hit almost perfectly high to reach the seats. That one's a high and tight fastball. Hicks dodges it out of the way, and the count runs even 2-2. Breaking ball, that was a nice pitch by Bauer. Just absolutely froze Hicks, who looks a little bit questioning of that call, but the home plate umpire said it bent over the inside corner. And Bauer has set down the first 2 that he's faced, and now we'll see the right fielder, Trace Kate.
Kate, having been one of the most consistent in the order, has a team-high 14 hits so far this season, and that batting average up above 320.
Yeah, you love to see it. That's why he's hitting in that 3 spot, which was typically, most coaches are going to put their best overall hitter in that 3 spot and guarantees you want your best hitter to come up in the first inning. And Kate has been up to the task so far. That one's chopped slowly to third. Going to be a tough play again for the third baseman, Melvin. He makes it, and a stretch out at first. Lions down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. We go to the second, no score. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field. We are scoreless. Piedmont Methodist, we go to the top of the second. Zeke Swartz put a couple runners on, ended that inning with a couple of strikeouts. Piedmont then went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first inning. We'll see. First baseman Banks Engel lead things off for the Monarchs. Engel 359 average, slugging 564. Monarchs as a team, they do not have a home run yet. But the overall offensive numbers have still been very good. First pitch breaking ball from Swartz finds the zone. And it seems like he has really found his rhythm after that one-out walk. He has been pumping strike after strike, and Methodist hasn't been able to do anything with it.
Really what's come to be expected of Swartz as we see him deliver once again.
Yeah, right on cue. He's gone. It looks like he has command of multiple pitches. Went off speed for 2 strikes there. A lot of hitters are taught not to swing at first pitch breaking balls. A good, easy way for a pitcher to kind of steal strike one and then be able to work ahead in the count. Here's the 0-2. And tried to get him to chase one in the dirt. Not a bad 0-2 pitch. Don't want to give in on that pitch. Got plenty of time to get the hitter to try to expand the zone. 1-2 coming up. And a swing and a miss. Swartz goes back to the off-speed. 4 straight off-speed pitches, and that's 3 consecutive strikeouts for the left-hander.
No surprise there, as Scally was having a conversation with me earlier in the week about him and saying that really it was a shame that he had not gotten a decision yet because he really has been dealing and his stuff is really on point. Really picking up where he left off last year with a great run in the tournament as well.
Ball 1 to Caleb Rogers. Yeah, Swartz, he really didn't factor in much until the end of his freshman year. He made a couple of huge starts late to get the Lions into postseason play that year. Last year he kind of settled in as number 2, number 3 starter. And now this year he's kind of really taken control of that number 1 job. He is. And another thing we mentioned, Justin Scally, head coach, left-handed pitcher at Methodist in his career. Piedmont has had a long run of left-handed outstanding starters. As that one's put in play to his left, Hicks. He will make the throw on time, on target, and 2 quick outs for Swartz. Yeah, we saw Sam Carpenter for so many years here be that mainstay on Friday night, so it just seems natural for Piedmont to have a lefty on the mound to start these weekend series.
Feels like the comfort zone maybe for the Lions.
Absolutely. Piedmont they had 3 lefty starters in the rotation last year, as Swartz was joined by Bodie Eilertson and Adam Mativier. This year, Peyton Irvin is back in the fold to kind of bridge that gap, to give these teams a little bit something different to work from. Brandon Mauger will put that one in play. Can of corn for Trace Kate, and that's about as easy a 1-2 inning as you can get. Swartz sets down the Monarchs in order. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field, bottom of the second inning. Joseph Garwood, Danielle Percival along for the ride here for game 1 of this doubleheader. These teams, Danielle, they've they like to play double headers. It seems like every time they meet, it's a double header.
Well, I don't know if that says more about the weather and how it plays a factor and the luck of these two meeting up, but the last 3 times today included that these two have met up, it has been for a doubleheader. The last one here coming in 2022, really a magical day here at Loudermilk Field, as Piedmont was able to split the doubleheader, took the second game with a walk-off in the 10th inning, improbable comeback to win 10-9 in a really one for the ages.
Yeah, if I remember that game, as Carlson takes a called strike to even the count at 1-1 to lead off the second. Remember that game, Piedmont lost the first game of that doubleheader 19-8, and then they fell behind, I want to say 9-2 or 9-3. They were down by a lot of runs late, and that they scored a bunch in the 8th and then scored some more in the 9th, and it was capped off by Carter Ballstad, of course, with the game-winning hit.
Yeah, it seems like you went back and read the recap because you got a pretty good memory of that one.
Yeah, that was one of those games. Every once in a while, we've both been here for a lot. We've seen a lot of baseball games in this park, and there's every once in a while there's a few games that I know we both have that just kind of stick out that you kind of remember, and that for sure is one of them.
Absolutely, pretty memorable night for Brett Loftus as well. That one's fouled back. That one was the one that kind of went viral for Brett Loftus, as that call ended up making it all the way to Bob Costas and really put Piedmont and Brett on the map.
Yeah, Piedmont. We did not have Piedmont on HBO on the bingo card that year. That one socked into left center, and that was unfortunate. Nice running grab out there by the center fielder, Jackson Deal. Carlson, who has gotten off to a little bit of a slower start offensively than I'm sure he would want. That's the kind of contact that you want to see, and eventually those are going to start falling in.
Mac Barton now at the plate. Barton, the only one in the order, only one for Piedmont so far this season that has a home run. Had a grand slam in the first inning in a DH spot earlier in the season. We'll see if he can replicate some of that magic again.
Yeah, Barton, as he takes ball 1 up and away, kind of came on in the middle of last season, was not really the everyday first baseman, or didn't really play every day, so he'll take a called strike to even the count. He started coming on late, showed some pop in his bat, ended up making all CCS honors as well. And that one's poked into left field. That'll get down. Piedmont's first hit of the ball game is a solid single by Barton. Takes a big wide turn around first, and he will get back, and we'll see if that can start a rally. As we talk, it's always good when you talk good about somebody and then they make you look good by promptly getting a base hit.
It's like the opposite of a broadcaster's jinx.
Yeah.
Speaking it into existence.
Yeah, we can. I don't like broadcaster jinx implies that broadcasters can only have negative effects.
Yeah.
Like you want to say we can have positive effects too from time to time. Now we'll see Tyler Nelson step in. Nelson comes in, .310 batting average, no homers, 4 RBIs on the season. And Bauer finds his own for strike 1.
Barton dancing around on the base paths, does not have a stolen base attempt so far this season. Could still be a threat.
Just trying to make him, oh, there he goes. Pitch is high, throw down is a little bit high as well, and Barton dives in safely underneath the tag of the shortstop Rogers. We spoke that one into existence as well.
You know, I'm getting a little nervous. I don't know if I should keep talking, if I should watch what I say, because so far we're looking like 2 for 2 for Mac.
Yeah, Mac is. We are good for the Mac Barton experience here. He's got
Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac. Now runner in scoring position, 1 out. 2 opportunities to get him home with a base hit, as that one looks like it slipped out of the hand of Bauer, sailed way up in the zone. He's missed high with his last 2, and now 2-1 count to Tyler Nelson. And that one, this popped up. It's going to be kind of a tough play. 3 players converging. The right fielder will come on and make the catch. Martin will tag and go nowhere. And that one was a nice play there by Caleb Green. That's kind of the old Bermuda Triangle where you got the first baseman going back, the second baseman going back, the right fielder coming in. And usually if the right fielder doesn't take charge, that ball's going to drop. It's a good play there by Caleb Green.
Isaac Mullinack coming up now out in left field today. That kind of has been the spot that we've seen several people rotating through. Mullinack with 5 starts so far, has made appearances in 7 games through the 10 played this season.
That one will be a called strike over the outside edge. Yeah, Molinak, 158 average so far, just 3 for 19 in the play. Not a big sample size yet, and as Danielle mentioned, the only position that kind of has been a little bit of a revolving door so far this year. A little bit of the way first base was last year in the beginning of the season until Barton took that job. That one's pulled into left field. That could be trouble if it stays fair. It does. It'll one hop off the wall. Scoring easily will be Barton and Isaac Molinak. Stand-up double with 2 outs, and Piedmont takes a 1-0 lead.
You mentioned it wasn't a large sample size so far. He made the most of that first opportunity in the game to put the Lions up 1-0.
That ball carried pretty well. Not really sure what the wind is doing right now. Usually, as we mentioned, it's usually the wind tunnel is out toward right field. But Molinak put a charge into that one and trades places with Barton for Piedmont to take a 1-0 lead. We'll see Owen Helgeson, first baseman, step in now. Helgeson at 286, no homers, 5 runs batted in. And that one sails high and in, almost over the head of Helgeson. And we've seen Bauer miss wildly out of the zone on 3 or 4 pitches here in this inning. 2 outs, runner can go on contact. Should help on any kind of single to the outfield. That one's chopped deep in the hole at short. Going to be a tough play and unable to come up with it. And I'm thinking probably a base hit there because Helgeson runs decently well, and that was going to be a tough throw with the momentum taking the shortstop Rogers into the hole. Obviously a play you would like to make, but a tough one there. Helgeson hit that pretty sharply and into the right spot. Now we'll see the shortstop Nathan Mix chance to make this a crooked number here for the Lions here in the second inning.
Mix, one of 5 hitters in the lineup today, hitting over 300 on the season. Lions struggled early offensively and then started to figure it out.
Poked into right field. That could be trouble. Coming on, diving, unable to come up with it. It was Green and right. That'll plate another run. Headed over to third base is Helgeson. And looked like maybe Green was going to come up with another great catch, but he just could not quite get there. RBI single for Mix out of the 9th spot, and now chance to put even more damage on the board as you got one of your best hitters in the lineup, Cole Ellis, coming up with 2 runners on.
Love to see a 2-out rally.
Yeah, nothing better than a 2-out rally, and nothing more deflating than giving up 2-out runs if you're the Monarchs here. You mentioned Mix, over 300. He was the kind of guy, he's going to bring exceptional value defensively with how sure his hands are at shortstop. So anything he gives you offensively is just a bonus, and he's been incredible on that side of the ball so far this year.
Talked about the fact that the Lions struggled offensively over opening weekend, scored 2, 3, and then finally started getting the offense rolling after struggling early. Really, once Cole Ellis got back in, and it kind of gave the Lions a spark. Started seeing double-digit run totals after that 2-3-4 to start the season.
Yeah, they actually scored double digits 3 straight games and wins over Hanover, Wilmington, and Oglethorpe, all right here. As Ellis will take a pitch just off the plate. That's a good eye there by Ellis. Scored the only game they lost in Tennessee against NC Wesley, and they still scored 6 runs and then clapped it off with a dominant 9-0 performance against Ferrum to close out that weekend. That one stung sharply past assistant coach Hayden Craig, associate head coach Hayden Craig in the third base coaching box.
I'm sure you can probably hear the wind picking up now.
Oh yeah, we are. It's a blustery day here at the Milk Jug. Ellis out toward right center, slicing away from the center fielder Deal. He will give way to the right fielder. That ball had a ton of tail on it. Little slice and the wind. Piedmont up 2-0. They leave 2. We go to the top of the third. Piedmont 2, Methodist 0. here at Loudermilk Field. 2-0 lead for the Lions. They placed 2 runs on the board in the bottom of the second, both coming with 2 outs. And now Zeke Swartz will have the 9-1 and 2 hitters due up to start the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Caleb Green, the right fielder, leading things off. 225 average coming in for Green. He was busy out in the right field in that top of the inning. And Swartz once again bending over that breaking ball to steal strike 1. As we hear that wind whipping again. Swing and a miss, and once again Swartz up 0-2 in the count. It seems like he's consistently, since the middle part of that first inning, he's consistently had 0-2 and 1-2 counts to work with. You're going to have a lot of success as a pitcher with that. 0-2, fouled straight back by Green.
Struck out the final 2 batters of the inning in the first, struck out the first in the second. 3 strikeouts so far.
And there really hasn't been much loud contact either in this game against Zeke Swartz. Goes off speed and does not get the chase there, runs things to 1 and 2. The one hit he's allowed was the infield chopper that Mix was just unable to get the transfer with out of his glove. Then issued a walk, and since then it's been 5 in a row set down for Zeke. Off speed, and Green just barely staying alive, pokes it foul out of play. Mentioned key innings for starting pitchers, or any pitcher really, when your team goes out and gives you that lead. As we mentioned, that Swartz does not have a win yet. He's got 2 runs to work with of offense, so now it's up to him to make it stand up. 1-2 sails high and away, even things up at 2-2. Especially important to get a shutdown inning in that next half inning after your team puts runs on the board. Keeps that offense, if your offense doesn't have to sit or stand in the field for very long, get them back to the dugout, get that other starting pitcher back on the mound. That's ideal. That one's hit relatively sharply, but barely having to move was the center fielder Cole Ellis. Puts it away for out number 1. Now we'll go back to the top of the order, and Tristan Melvin, the only hit that first time through for the Monarchs. We like to see Swartz. He's wasted no time. He gets the ball back and he goes for the next pitch quickly. Sprayed foul out of play.
Talked about him having those 2 runs to work with. That was all he had offensively in 2 of the outings that he's been in. One of those obviously was a run that was scored after he had exited the game. But the game against Randolph-Macon was the game that saw Piedmont put up 8 runs. However, Zeke came in and pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 in the 5th. Piedmont was able to answer in the bottom of the 5th to put a run on the board. But it wasn't until after he exited in the 6th inning that Piedmont was able to come back, take the lead, and eventually go ahead for that 8-5 victory that saw Nathan Boyce take the win on the mound.
Yeah, that was a game where Swartz really battled to keep his team in the game, kept things close, and that was a big swing and a miss. Good fastball there by Swartz. He was able to keep the game close enough that the Piedmont offense, the task of getting back into the game was not too tall, and although he doesn't get the win in the stats, his performance for sure very valuable in that game. Another one fouled straight back. And again, 2 strikes quickly on a Methodist hitter. Breaking ball, backdoor, beautiful pitch, and a called strike 3. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Zeke Swartz, and he has now set down 7 in a row. Now we'll see the center fielder, Jackson Deal. Deal 0 for 1, fly out in the first inning. First pitch, called strike on the outside edge. Looks like Zeke has found the release point, as you say. Like, he is dotting the corner with multiple pitches. That one skied out toward right. Cate giving chase. He'll have plenty of room. Gives an extra couple steps as the wind pushes that ball to the right field corner. Another 1-2-3 inning for Zeke Swartz. Piedmont leads 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Piedmont 2, Methodist 0. Zeke Swartz outstanding through the first 3 innings of work. Piedmont able to put up a couple of 2-out runs in the bottom of the second. Now we'll see Colton Hicks step in to lead things off. Hicks took a called third strike, his first plate appearance, and almost the exact same pitch he took the called third on. It gets over for strike one. Hicks made a little mild disagreement with the home plate umpire on that call third in the first inning. And that one's dotted on the outside edge from Bauer. Hicks finds himself in a 0-2 hole. He's going to have to battle. That one not even close. Looks like that slipped out of the hand of Bauer. Another one not even close. As I mentioned, Hicks is his second year playing at Piedmont. He's a in-conference transfer from Maryville. He actually hit a huge home run in the CCS championship final last year to earn himself CCS tournament MVP honors. Against his former team. Against his former team.
You really can't write it any better.
That was about as good a script as you could come up with. And also, Zeke Swartz, big performance in that game as well on the mound. Pitching on little rest and grinding out some huge innings with a Piedmont pitching staff that had been worked a lot up to that point in that series. It was just a lot of grit from Hicks and Swartz and the rest of the lines as well. And that's a swing and a miss. Foul tipped in the mitt, held on to by Holman. And Bauer sets down Hicks on strikes for the second time this afternoon.
Trace Cate coming up to the plate. Something that Justin Scally mentioned, head coach Justin Scally, from last weekend's competition. They had to play a doubleheader, but in the format that you would see in postseason play, where you've got a 10 a.m. game and you don't play again until 5 p.m. There's a game in between. And he really told the guys, put this to use, because this is the kind of the information that you need, and this is the experience that you need heading toward, getting into the heart of the season. Find out what you're made of. Put this in your back pocket and know that we came out and we lost in this game, but you can come back and you can get a win later in the day. That's good experience moving forward, hopefully to have a tournament run at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Piedmont, as we've kind of touched on lightly a little bit, Piedmont won the inaugural CCS tournament last year, after a season that was a little bit up and down, but they caught fire at the right time. And that's kind of what it's all about. When you get to tournament play, it doesn't really matter the sport. It's it's about playing your best at that time. And last year, the Lions were able to work through. They played a very difficult schedule, took more losses than you probably would want to, but they kind of stuck with it. As another strikeout for Bauer. Kate goes fishing after a breaking ball well off the plate for out number 2. Now we'll see Kyle Carlson, third baseman, in the cleanup spot. Carlson hit a absolute rope out towards center field. That was unfortunately right at the center fielder deal.
Has just 8 hits so far this season, but 4 of those are extra base hits.
Pops it foul. The catcher, Holman, looked like he had trouble with the sun. It looks like he may have found it, but it was a little too late. Was unable to squeeze it. Now Carlson, second life. You always love, if you're Carlson, you're looking at a foul out to the catcher. He got a little unlucky in the first inning, or his first at bat rather, with the line out. So now we'll see if he can take advantage of a little bit of a break. Good take there by Carlson. Stays off the curveball, off the plate and away. Piedmont rallied with 2 outs in the second. We'll see if they can do it again in the third. That one's hit sharply. That's a fair ball down the left field line. That'll roll into the corner. Carlson on his way to second. We'll see if the left fielder can fish it out. Now we see it come flying into the cutoff man. A 2-out stand-up double for Kyle Carlson. And Lions threatening with 2 outs again.
4th double of the season, just his 9th hit so far. We talked about those extra base hits. Really, the power that we saw in his first at bat really comes through there, as that one's just roped down the line.
Yeah, Carlson, outstanding first couple of years to his career. And you wonder if with Brady or with Carter Ballstat graduating, now it's like Kyle is kind of the guy in the lineup. So you kind of don't want him to try to do too much. Just kind of continue to be himself. And as we mentioned early in the season, not a ton of at-bats so far, but a player as talented as him, you really like to see what you're seeing today, which is 2 at-bats, 2 balls hit sharply. Now we'll see Mac Barton, RBI opportunity. He was a table setter back in the second. We'll see if he can drive in a run here. And he's jumped ahead in the count 2-0.
After a slow start in that opening weekend that saw Piedmont, I think, have just 13 hits offensively, lots of low batting averages that really have rebounded, and you're still kind of working against that to come back up. But as you mentioned, still really early in the season, just a month or so into competition. Plenty of opportunities to continue to work those numbers, and as we've seen, plenty of Piedmont offensive players getting up into the 300s after really that slow start. Kind of a lot to overcome, but already seeing some success there.
As we mentioned Ellis that did not play in that opening series. Barton did not play either. And we have seen with those 2 big bats in the lineup, this Piedmont lineup, it kind of lengthens it in a way. So now that just everyone, it takes a little bit of pressure off of everyone else in the lineup when you have 2 big bats like Barton and Ellis. And Barton especially gives you a left-handed hitter, something different for the pitcher to see. 2-2 pitch. And that one just above the zone. Barton fights it off, foul out of play.
After the single in the second inning, Barton now hitting over 400 on the season, especially what you'd love to see out of that designated hitter spot, really stepping in and delivering in that position.
2-2 again, and that one is a great take by Barton. Catcher Holman tried to frame it. Home plate umpire wasn't buying it.
It was a pretty solid frame job, though.
Yeah, he may have.
It was a quick snap.
He may have tried to sell it a little too hard. Home plate umpire was like, "Nah, not going to give you this one." Full count offering. Runner will be off on the pitch. That one's lined into right field. Down for a hit. Carlson will be held as Green is up with the throw to the cutoff man. We'll have our runners at the corners. Now we'll hear the walk-up music. That's Tyler Nelson's music. We'll have a opportunity with 2 on and 2 out for Piedmont catcher.
Once again, with 2 outs, Lions were able to have success with that scenario in the bottom of the second. We'll see if the success continues in the third.
Breaking ball, and that's a called strike 1. Yeah, Barton there on that last one, he hit it too hard. He got to the right fielder so quickly that even though Carlson was running on the pitch, he was likely to be thrown out at home plate. So a good stop there by Hayden Craig over at third base. Outs are very valuable in 9-inning games. So you don't want to run into them on the bases. And Nelson fights one off, foul, back toward us on the roof of the stadium there. He's going to have to battle back from 0-2. Barton was on the move, did steal his first base of the season back in the second. 0-2, not a great count to run on. We'll see what he's up to at first. Nelson will take a ball off the plate. Another attempted frame job there by Holman. Count runs 1-2. And now Bauer will check on the runner. Barton rather dives back in safely at first. Tried to get him to chase up the ladder. Nelson was not buying it. And now we'll see what the junior backstop can do with an even count. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Breaking ball, and that one stays high as well.
Showing a lot of patience at the plate.
You'll have to see it. That's been a trademark of Nelson since he has come to Piedmont. The batting average hasn't always been super high, but his on-base percentage has, and that's all you want to do. Play great defense and get on base, and that's pretty valuable to have in a catcher. Runner goes on the pitch, and that one goes in and gets Nelson. He's going to take first base the painful way, as if catchers don't already take enough of a beating behind the plate. And especially when it would have been ball 4 anyway. Those are the ones that you really don't want to take.
Mullinack coming up to the plate now with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Looks like we're on a mound visit.
We'll take a little time. Think about it.
Yep.
We'll be back. Lions lead at 2-0. Bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
Well, looks like they thought about it on the mound. And now Mullinack, as Daniel mentioned, second inning, a clutch 2-out base hit. We'll see if he can really break things open here. Because if he can find a gap, you're looking at a 5-0 lead for the Lions. A big, high leverage at bat here. And that one misses down and away for ball 1. A lot of times people think of like 7th, 8th, 9th inning as the most important at bat. Sometimes the most important at bat of a game is early in the 3rd or 4th inning, where you can the game can kind of turn on one pitch, one at bat. And another one off the plate. Bauer, like a little bit of an extra stare into the home plate umpire. Looked like he wanted that one.
Worked ahead on Nelson 0-2, and then, of course, lost him on what would have been ball 4 that ended up hitting him. Now, what's that, 6 straight balls?
Yeah, that's not ideal as a pitcher, and he finds the zone there. But not much is more demoralizing when you get ahead in the count, especially when there's 2 outs and runners on base. You get ahead in the count on a hitter 0-2 and are unable to finish that batter off. Sometimes that can send a pitcher into a spiral. Bauer battling back here from 2-0, kind of the opposite run of the at-bat with Nelson. Runs things to even 2-2. A couple of well-spotted fastballs. Molinak unable to pull the trigger. Likely see maybe something off speed here with the 2-2. Goes with the heat instead, and Molinak, nice little defensive swing, kept that one short and to the ball, and was able to poke a foul. Another Deuces Wild, and a shout out to Brett Loftus. Bases loaded, 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. And that one is lifted out toward first base, foul territory. Wind is pushing it hard, foul. And a wind-aided foul ball keeps Molinak in the count.
Lucky break there, as that one looked like it maybe had promise for the final out of the inning for the Monarchs, but carried just outside of the fence.
We'll see if Molinak can take advantage. He'll get another 2-2 coming up. That one is chopped on the ground. It's going to be a tough play. Deep in the hole, the shortstop. The throw, one hop, and beats the throw, does Molinak. That'll be an RBI infield single. Everybody moves up a base, and the Lions lead it 3-0. That's the second RBI of the game for Isaac Molinak. You know, sometimes you just put the ball in play and good things can happen.
That 2-out rally in the bottom of the second happened with this same portion of the order, as Molinak had a double. Helgeson came up and singled, followed by Mix. So right into the same portion of the order just an inning later.
Mix will take Helgeson rather will take a first pitch ball up above the zone for 1-0.
Scoreboard runs one more time to get it to 3. It just popped up to 0. Hit the scoreboard, runs one more time.
1-0 to Helgeson. That one almost hit him, and it's 2-0. Really not a bad play there by the shortstop, Rogers, in the hole. The fact that it was a second hop, it was a long throw deep in the hole, and Molinak with just enough speed to beat the throw. 2-0, and that hits Helgeson in the shoulder. That's the second hit by pitch of the inning, and Piedmont now will lead it 4-0 as Mac Barton will cross home plate for the second time in the game.
That one a little bit more costly with the bases loaded, as it's now 4-0, 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings for the Lions.
Matching bruises for Nelson and Helgeson, as Piedmont clearly doing what it takes to get these runs across, and we're going to have, I believe, a pitching change. It's our second mound visit of the inning, so it looks like that'll be the end of the afternoon for Bauer, as he will exit here in the third with the bases loaded. We'll be right back with the new pitcher. New pitcher for the Monarchs, number 20, Tanner Simpson, junior right-hander. ERA just over 2 to start the year. He's in a tough spot. He's into the cauldron in the bottom of the third. Mix first pitch swinging, lofted into center. That's going to drop. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Trouble with it in center field is Deal. Nick's alert play will take second. It'll be a 2 RBI single for Mix. He'll advance on the error by Deal. As 2 runs come across, the Lions have now put 6 on the board, all so far charged to the starter, Andrew Bauer. And now, it's always a good sign when your third at-bat for your leadoff hitter comes in the 3rd inning, and Cole Ellis with the chance to do even more damage. The runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs.
Talked about crooked numbers. I didn't know we were going to get all the way to 4 in the 3rd inning.
First pitch, 1 hopper to 3rd, throw across in time, and the Lions will settle for 4, but they score 4 with 2 outs. They lead at 6-0 as we go to the top of the 4th. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Piedmont with 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, 4 in the bottom of the 3rd, all coming with 2 outs. Zeke Swartz with a 6-run lead to work with. He's going to face the heart of the Methodist order in the 4th. First pitch breaking ball, and Gowan got the catcher Holman ducking out of the way for strike 1. And that one will be over the outside edge, and Swartz is like a broken record, 0-2 to pretty much every hitter. What you can do if you can show you can consistently throw strikes and get ahead, then you're going to get players expanding the strike zone and swinging at non-drivable pitches early in the count. That one's poked foul out of play by Holman. Catcher, number 3 hitter in the order. Entered today hitting .395, so no slouch at the plate. That one's poked out toward left. We'll see if it gets down fair. It will. Holman will round first sharply. He'll head into second. Over to grab it is Molinak. The throw is late, and it'll be a leadoff double for Methodist catcher Hunter Holman. That ball wasn't hit super sharply. He just found the right spot. Dumped it down the line. And first base runner that Swartz has had to face since the 1st inning, since Holman reached on the walk. Now he'll see Banks Hartman. That one's fouled straight back. Good cut by Hartman rather. We'll close the book on Methodist starter Andrew Bauer. 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. And that one slipped out of Swartz's hand, ducking out of the way was Hartman. All 4 runs back in that bottom of the 3rd inning unearned because of the dropped foul pop-up by the catcher on the first pitch of Carlson's at-bat. It's kind of amazing how that can happen, where one little play can extend an inning and give up 4 runs. Tough play, and that one will be an infield hit. That ball was not hit sharply at all, just kind of into no man's land. The first baseman, Helgeson, had to go over to field it. Swartz was a little late getting over, but that was always going to be a tough play to make.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like a similar concept of Bermuda's Triangle, where there was just no way for everybody to get where they needed to be in the amount of time that it was going to take. And you kind of saw that one playing out as he was running to first, that didn't really look like a play was there to be made.
Now Swartz going to have to work around some trouble. He's got 6 runs to play with, and he'll find the strike zone there. Nice little off-speed pitch as Jackson Kuhn, the DH, steps in. He was a strikeout victim to end that first inning, left 2 runners on.
That was a good job not compounding a bad situation or a dangerous situation, looking like you were going to concede the hit and the runner at first, but better to slow play it and not throw it away and make a bad situation worse. So good job by all involved to not compound the situation.
Yeah, as the 1-1 is fouled off to the right. We've seen enough baseball that a lot of times when you have pitchers covering the bag and the first baseman having to make a long throw, we've seen plenty of times where that ball gets thrown into right field and a runner's at second, a run's in. Yeah, as you mentioned, that's a good job to just tip your cap and try to go get the next hitter. 2-strike offering to Kuhn. And batter called time. Late time granted there. But no pitch on that one. Runner at first. Hartman, just 1 of 1 on stolen base attempts so far this year. A lot of times first and third, you'll see the runner off and moving. Home plate umpire recording, I guess, the batter called time for all the new pitch clock and timing stuff that they have to try to speed up the game. From the stretch, Swartz, breaking ball, backdoor, called strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Swartz. That is strikeout number 5 for the left-hander.
Holman down there at third, trying to cause a little chaos, make Swartz think about him from behind his back as he kind of gave him the running start there at third just to make him hear those footsteps.
Looked like it affected Swartz 0 on that one. Kept his poise, threw a beautiful pitch. Yeah, so one negative, obviously we mentioned earlier, the positive being left-handed pitchers, you can keep your eye on that runner at first, but when the runner is on third, you kind of have your back to him, just kind of have to not let it affect you. That one was scored away from Nelson, and coming in to score, standing up, is Holman. It'd probably go as a wild pitch, although Nelson himself would probably tell you that that's one that he would like to keep in front of him.
Same concept there, though, as Nelson chased after it, got to it, but then kind of conceded. This is where we're at. We're just going to eat this one, not going to throw it away, and, again, make any situation worse.
Yeah, good situational baseball, especially with a 6-run lead in the 4th inning. Not the time to try to be a hero. And that one finds the inside corner. And if you're Swartz, I know you lose the shutout, but it's kind of been a little unfortunate for you this inning. A couple of not hard hit balls have resulted in base hits, but control what you can control and try to get back and keep this lead substantial.
The most offense that Swartz has had to work with all season during the contest that he has been still in the game anyway, as Piedmont was able to put up 8 runs in a contest he started, but that, of course, came after he had already completed his stat line.
Yeah, new territory for Swartz. Hasn't had this situation yet. And a good pitch, doesn't get the chase, doesn't get the call either. Must have been just low. Yeah, it's a different thing trying to pitch. Pitching when you know you have a giant lead is can sometimes be a challenge for some pitchers, because you don't really want to change your philosophy, but you also do have to pitch to the score a little bit. And that one, check swing, appeal says Engel did not swing. Now the count works in the favor of the Methodist hitter. No double play in order, runner at second. 1 out in the inning. And a fastball, that one finds the top of the strike zone. And the count runs full.
Engel looked like he was about ready to take off for first.
Yeah, he initiated the process of taking his walk. The home plate umpire did not think so. Big 3-2 coming. And rolled over foul. Swartz running the pitch count up a little bit in the 4th, but he did have 2 pretty breezy innings in the 2nd and 3rd.
Just over 60 pitches thrown so far for Swartz.
Good pitch, locked up Engel on the inside corner. Called strike 3, half a dozen punch-outs now for Zeke Swartz. And as we mentioned at the top, the strikeout pitch has been working all year, and that trend has continued today.
Back-to-back strikeouts, looking 4, looking 2, swinging 1 in every inning so far this game.
Now we'll see the shortstop, Caleb Rogers. He's 0 for 1, and he'll take a called strike 1. Piedmont Methodist games in the past have been some back and forth battles, so never want to count either team out in this series. 0-1, Swartz tried to paint the outside corner, must have missed just off the plate away. Evens things up 1-1.
They've been some pretty high scoring affairs as well, as we talked about through those double headers the last 2 meetings, and of course today as well.
Like Swartz tried to go too quick there, didn't quite have his mechanics in line, missed high and away. Count runs to 2-1. Yeah, as I mentioned, 2 former conference foes in the USA South, now meeting as non-conference rivals. And late on that fastball, good pitch by Swartz. Seems like Swartz, he's been able to command multiple pitches to both sides of the plate, which is not an easy thing to do as a pitcher. Was able to run that fastball in on the hands of Rogers, who was pretty late on it. And now he's a strike away from working out of trouble with minimal damage. Tried to get him to chase a breaking ball, and he missed low in the dirt to run things full 3-2. Got to give a little credit to the Methodist hitters. They've been a little more patient, have run pitch count up a little bit for Swartz here in the 4th. And the payoff. Rolled over to 3rd, diving Carlson, hits the base and goes into shallow left. The runner will hold at 3rd. Hartman will stay put there. It's going to be likely to be an infield hit anyway. And now Swartz will have to deal with a couple of runners on. And second baseman Brandon Mauger. Mauger has a USA South Rookie of the Week nod. Well, Hartman has 2. Mauger has the other one. A couple promising young players for the Monarchs.
Mauger 0 for 1 in the game with a fly out to right back in the 2nd.
Yeah, Swartz will certainly take that now. This one, first pitch put in play. Going to be a tough play for Helgeson. Looks like he doesn't see it. Second baseman Hicks runs over and able to haul it in. That would have been an incredible play by Hicks.
You could tell from the jump that Owen didn't have a read on it, kind of had the hands up emoji.
Yes, he had no clue where that ball was. And as we mentioned at the top, with the wind and the sun, it can be a tough field to play. Hicks had a beat on it. He just had too far to run. He was able to kind of get there at the end, but that was an incredibly tough play. That would have been Webb Gym worthy if he was able to come up with that one. 0-1 now from Swartz. Breaking ball finds the zone on the outside edge. 0-2 the count. One strike away again is Swartz. Like to see him maybe try letter high fastball, see if he can get a swing and a miss just above the top of the strike zone. Goes away and just barely able to stay alive was Mauger. Spoils it foul. Wind whipping out in right center again. Looks like it's blowing pretty strongly based on what we've seen so far from left to right. We got Trace Kate in right field with his glove up above his head, shielding the sun. Runner goes. This one's lined out towards center. Ellis had a beat on it. The wind will push it back toward him. He'll make the running grab. Swartz surrenders a run, but strands two. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Piedmont leads 6-1.
The second baseman, Colton Hicks.
Back here at Loudermilk Field, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Colton Hicks will lead off for the second straight game. Back to out to work for the Monarchs is that's a tough play on the mound. Tanner Simpson still after taking over in the bottom of the third to rescue Bauer, and Hicks retired for the third straight time. A fly out to right. It looked like a little communication trouble, but the catch was made by Caleb Green. And now we'll see Trace Kate. Lions sitting 9 men to the plate in that bottom of the third inning. First two were retired in Hicks and Kate. And Piedmont, as Kate lashes that one foul off to the right. The Lions, the theme of the day so far has been 2-out rallies.
After seeing so much offensive production from those 1-2-3 hitters, it's been everybody under them that's really been holding their weight today.
Yeah, bottom of the order, Molinak, Nelson, Mix, Helgeson, those guys have gotten it done at the bottom. That's what you want to see. Is you want to, as the season goes through, you don't want to have to rely on a couple of guys. You want to have depth in the lineup, and so far Piedmont today has shown that they do have that. And that one finds the inner half. Kate unable to pull the trigger. 1-2 the count. Very demonstrative 1-2 flash by the home plate umpire there. That one rolled over and chopped foul. We mentioned that Hicks was transferred from Maryville. Cate also a transfer in his second season. Came over from Berry College.
Smile.
Cate enjoyed a solid opening season with the Lions. And that one, breaking ball, dips down and away for ball number 2.
Why am I in the background of that?
Getting some broadcasting action photos as Cate will ground that one up the middle. The always incredible Carl Moore is on hand today. So we're having a little bit of fun up here in the press box as Cate with a 1-out single. Piedmont actually a little 1-out rally maybe starting.
Well, I was saying that the 1 through 3 hitters had not been able to get it done yet, and Trace Cate, not appreciative of that statement, decided to make me a liar.
Yeah, once again, speaking things into existence.
There we go.
Up here in the booth. We don't get on the mic often. When we do, we try to at least have a positive impact on things. As Carlson will take a ball down and in. Jump ahead in the count 1-0.
A lot of combined experience with Piedmont baseball up here between you and I.
Seen a combined
16 seasons?
16 seasons.
Whew.
So almost qualified to be like certified Piedmont baseball historians up here.
We got the old timers broadcast going on right now.
Speaking of people with experience, we'll mention Methodist head coach Tom Austin is in his 45th season as head coach. He took over the Methodist program in 1980. So he has been a mainstay in a program that has only, over that time, he has had just 2 losing seasons. So
incredible.
43 out of 45, Methodist has finished with more wins than losses. So pretty incredible resume for Coach Austin. That one's popped up on the infield. Tough play. Shielding his eyes from the sun is Simpson. Be a old-fashioned P1 in the scorecard, showing that pitchers can sometimes be athletes as well. And now we're to the Piedmont. This is the Piedmont sweet spot. We got 2 outs and Mac Barton at the plate.
Oh, that's right.
Things have tended to go well the last couple innings with that situation. We'll see if Barton can get it done for a 3rd straight time. He is 2 for 2, a couple of runs scored, and he'll take ball 1 in the dirt.
Now hitting .500 on the season. Couple singles. Came around to score in the 2nd inning. Lions might be cooking with biscuits and gravy again.
Shout out Brett Loftus. Check on the runner at first, and Cate is back. Trace Cate, 4 out of 4 on stolen bases so far. And that one will be a called strike. Like Cate kind of bluffed like he was going to run, decided not to. Catcher Holman quickly out of his crouch, had a little trouble with the transfer, so if Cate would have run, he probably would have made it. And Simpson will miss high and away for ball number 2, 2-1 count. Potentially a good stolen base opportunity. Usually 2 outs, runner at first. If you have a guy that can run, this is a good opportunity to send him. Try to get that runner in a scoring position so a single can knock him in. And he'll check on the runner again. Cate dives back safely.
They're certainly thinking about that and worried that Cate could be a threat on the base paths, seeing all these pickoff attempts.
Yeah, Cate's got the jersey dirty and bluffs again, doesn't go. Popping out of the crouch is Holman. And the count 3-1. A lot of times, too, you see that just the threat of the steal can mess with the pitcher, with their mechanics. They're trying to rush things a little bit. It's in their head. And now Barton, with all that, has worked himself into a 3-1 count. And he will swing a little late, poke it out toward left, and out of play near the Piedmont bullpen, down that left field line. Well, none of the runs so far have been charged as Simpson did let a couple of inherited runners cross home plate. Methodist rocking the Sunday afternoon camo uniforms. As Barton will roll that one over. Two-hopper to first. Pitcher covering. A little scoop over to him. And no two-out magic for the Lions in the fourth. But we go to the fifth inning. Piedmont 6, Methodist 1.
No runs on one. There's one left on.
All right. Back here at Loudermilk Field, we go to the fifth inning. Piedmont 6, Methodist 1. Game 1 of a 3-game set. Game 1 of 2 today. And Zeke Swartz back out to work on the mound. He'll have 9-1-2 due up in the frame. Starting with the right fielder, Caleb Green, who's 0 for 1. And first pitch in the left-handed batter's box, straight to the backstop. So Swartz will reset the 1-0 count. And that one will find the zone. Good pitch there by Swartz. He's through 4 innings of work. He's just allowed 4 hits, a run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for the junior left-hander. That one is poked out towards short. Nice grab by Nathan Mix. Didn't really have to expand the vertical too much, but still athletic play by the senior shortstop.
Third baseman, Tristan Melvin.
Now we'll go back to the top of the order. Third time through for Tristan Melvin, the third baseman. 1 for 2. Reached on an infield hit his first time. Struck out his last plate appearance. And first pitch chopped foul.
Closing in on 80 pitches now for Swartz as we're working in the top of the fifth. Has allowed just 4 hits. That 1 run surrendered an inning ago.
Yeah, based on that pitch count, I would imagine Coach Scally will try to get at least this inning and 1 more out of him if he can be efficient. If you can get him through 6, especially that that first game of a doubleheader. That one hop, nice snag by Mix. Throw across, on target, on time, 2 out. Exactly what you want to see if you're Zeke Swartz and head coach Justin Scally is you want to see those couple balls put in play. They were hit relatively sharply, but kind of makes up for, they say everything evens out in baseball eventually. A couple of weakly hit balls found grass for hits last inning. A couple of sharply hit balls found gloves for outs here in this one. And Swartz misses to Jackson Beal for ball 1.
Talking about working into the 6th inning, Swartz has pitched 6 or more in his last 2 starts. Those 2 wins for Piedmont. Obviously, we've talked about no decisions yet for Swartz on the mound, but the only time he was On the field less than that as he throws over to first for the final out of the inning was that season opener against Chapman where he tossed just 4 innings.
Right on cue. 1, 2, 3 inning for Swartz. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Halfway home in game 1. Piedmont leads 6-1.
Leading off for Piedmont will be Tyler Nelson. Nelson hit by a pitch in his last at bat back in the 3rd inning. Leading off for Piedmont. Takes ball 1 inside on the first pitch. 6, 7, 8 due up for Piedmont here in the bottom of the 5th.
Nelson lifts one, shallow left, tough play, battling the sun, and that one will drop foul. Looks like 3 people, and no one saw that one.
Nelson almost all the way to second by the time that one finally hit the dirt.
That ball was skied. As we mentioned earlier, the bottom of this lineup has done the damage. All the runs for Piedmont have been scored from the 4 through 7 spots in the order. All the RBIs from Mullinack, Helgeson, and Mix. And that one will dip down and away. 2-1 the count to the Piedmont catcher. That one will dip down and away again. Nelson takes ball 3.
Talked about his patience at the plate in an earlier at bat. That was one where he was down 0-2, ended up wearing the 4th, what would have been ball that would have sent him to first anyway, back in the 4th inning.
That one is skied out towards center. Center fielder Deal barely had to move, and that's out number 1. Yeah, we mentioned Nelson hopefully not going to join a line of Piedmont catchers that have also been known for getting hit by pitches, as Kyle DeJesus famously set the Piedmont record for hit by pitches in a season a couple years back.
Everybody has their role.
Everybody has their role, and you hate to see it be catchers though. They take enough punishment behind the plate. They don't need to take it at the plate too. And Mullinack, who's been the star of the game so far for Piedmont, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, first 2 at-bats.
Is that like a solo stat line of Deuces Wild?
His stat line is Deuces Wild. That's what you want to see though out of the 7th spot left field. As we mentioned, it's been kind of a revolving door early on, and if Mullinack can be the guy that kind of takes control of that job, it just makes things a lot easier for head coach Justin Scally to kind of be able to just kind of pencil in that same lineup every day and know that he's going to get something. Swing and a miss there by Mullinack. And count runs even 2-2. And that one will dip down and in. Another deep count for the pitcher, Tanner Simpson. He's done a pretty good job settling things down for the Monarchs here in the middle innings. And that one will sail high and away. Molinak on base for the third time in 3 plate appearances. And now we'll see Owen Helgeson. Familiar walk-up song.
The first baseman, Owen Helgeson.
Helgeson with a single in his first at bat, another one of those hit by pitches from the 3rd inning.
An RBI the painful way. And that one will get through the legs of the catcher Holman into second easily on the wild pitch is Molinak. So he's now in scoring position with 1 out. Chance for Helgeson to drive home another. 1 for 1 on the day. Infield single and a hit by pitch. Nice pitch there by Simpson. Bends it over for a called strike. Even sinks up a 1-1. Should mention, if we haven't already, this is the beginning of spring break for Piedmont. That one will miss inside. A lot of Piedmont students have already, unless they are here competing, have already dipped out to their various spring break locations.
Which means those of us joining us today are the A team.
Exactly. That's why you get to listen to us today.
We're just up here having a little fun.
Just might as well. It's spring break is supposed to be fun. Some of us, doesn't matter what location you're in.
I have heard the beaches of Demarest are preferred to some.
Yeah, there was a lot of sand. It could be some sand in your eyes today with all the wind. Count runs full to 3-2 to Helgeson. Stretch from Simpson. And called strike 3. Helgeson looks a little confused. That one looked like he was about ready to drop his bat and take the walk to first. That pitch looked maybe a little high, a little inside, but called strike 3, and now it's going to be up to Nathan Mix.
That one did seem to catch most everyone, at least cheering for the Lions, a little off guard, but nobody better. Nathan Mix at the plate, hitting .355.
As long as Zeke Swartz is going to be happy, if he can get that call, it's going to be good. And as Mix puts one in the play in the left, that's a base hit. Coming around third and scoring, standing up will be Molinak. Nathan Mix, offensive superstar at shortstop this season, delivers a big run. It's 7-1 Lions.
I think maybe nobody better?
Maybe. We saw in the top of this inning the reason why Mix is starting shortstop. The athletic on defense makes a couple of nice plays, and if he can do what he's doing at shortstop, he's going to be an all-conference level player.
3 straight singles, 3 for 3 so far for Nathan Mix today.
4 RBIs. We'll have to take a look, but that feels like it at least ties a career high, if not is a new career high for Mix at Piedmont. Ellis fouls one back. If you would have told Coach Scally that Piedmont would have 7 runs in the 5th inning, as Mix will dive back in safely on the pickoff attempt, if Piedmont would have 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and Cole Ellis and Colton Hicks would be a combined 0 for 6 at the plate, he would have given us a questioning look. But this kind of shows the depth of this lineup for the Lions. Ellis and Hicks, who are usually the catalysts, have not gotten on base, but the rest of the lineup has picked them up. And as soon as I say that, Cole Ellis, a line drive single into left field, and he's got his first hit of the afternoon. 2 on now, and now we'll see if Hicks can join the party.
Nearly the same location as Mix was able to find. Ellis coming through as well. You mentioned that for Mix, nearing some career high numbers with RBI. That does tie a career high with 4 RBI as he had 4 against Berea in April of last season.
There you have it. As Hicks takes ball 1 up and in. Mick's famous for giving us post-game interviews, interviewing various Piedmont stars of the game, and the way today is trending, he might have to be interviewing himself, as he is off to a fantastic start. Hicks now fouls 1 away. 1-1 the count to the senior from Maryville, Tennessee. Breaking ball, and Simpson finds zone for a called strike 2. Trace Kate, 1 for 3, waiting in the on-deck circle. Mix the runner at second. Ellis at first, good speed on the bases with both of them, and they have 2 outs. They'll be off on contact, and that one will miss up and away. Good take by Hicks, runs things even to 2-2. Deuce's wild situation. I'll try a little daylight play, throw it almost into center field. And not sure if that hit Mix or hit the glove of the shortstop, but either way, everybody's safe.
Hicks, the only batter in the lineup to not reach base so far today. Only 1 of 2 without a hit, Tyler Nelson being the other, but was hit by a pitch and reached back in the third.
Stretching the pitch and swing and a miss by Hicks. He's down on strikes for the 3rd time this afternoon, but Piedmont tacks on a run. They lead 7-1 as we go to the 6th. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Zeke Swartz been solid so far. He's going to have to face the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Hunter Holman, the catcher, leading off, followed by Banks Hartman and Jackson Kuhn. Holman has reached base a couple times. And Swartz will start him off with a get over breaking ball for strike 1. 6-6 run lead. That first win is within Swartz's grasp. He's already pitched the qualified number of innings, so we'll see if he can stretch through one more before he turns over to the bullpen. That was a beautiful off-speed pitch, as Holman was well out ahead of that one to run things 0-2.
Longest outing so far this season came in his last outing against Mary Washington, 6 1/3. seen him go deep into contests last season. We'll see if he makes it past the 6th into the 7th in this one.
Looked like that one might have been strike 3. Nelson wanted that call, but umpire says just outside, 1-2 the count. A very low pitch count back in the 5th, so maybe if he has another easy inning, May would see him again. Try to go front door with the breaking ball. Didn't get the call there either as Holman backed off the plate. Count runs to even, 2-2. Yeah, potentially Swartz is last. We'll see what Coach Scally does. And good battle by Holman. That was the 5th pitch of the at-bat, and he spoiled it off and out of play.
His season high in innings pitched last year came in that championship against Maryville as he went 7 innings, helping give the Lions a chance to win the inaugural tournament, and gets another strikeout, another one looking as he sits down the first batter of the 6th.
7th K of the afternoon for Swartz, coming off of I believe a 9 strikeout performance his last time out against Mary Washington. And he has had that strikeout pitch working. And as you mentioned, Danielle, a lot of them have been looking today. Fouled straight back and in the crowd. An unsuspecting pup almost took that one. And now he's probably going to want the ball. 0-1 the count to Banks Hartman. Breaking ball. That one skied out toward left. Should be easy for Molinak. Trotting over toward the line. Makes the call and the catch for out number 2. Easy first couple of outs. Now we're going to have, looks like a pinch hitter. It's going to be number 22, Justin Blunt, senior outfielder from Middletown, Delaware. Wesley College transfer.
Swartz now in each of his 4 outings has had 6 or more strikeouts. The lowest total of 6 came against Randolph-Macon here at home. Had 7 against Chapman, despite just pitching 4 innings.
Yeah, continuing the trend of the excellent start to the season he's gotten off to. Blunt comes in 167 average, just 3 for 18 at the plate. We're trying to get him jump started here. 2 out, nobody on, and Swartz wasting no time, jumping ahead 0-2. With the way that he's looked this inning, I would think it's at least a consideration to bring Swartz back out, especially if he can retire Blunt here in the next few pitches. Wind whipping, and the wind and the pitch. Tapped out toward the middle of the infield. Going to be a tough play for Hicks. Gloves, throws, and late. Going to be an infield single. Nothing you can do there if you're Swartz. He made the pitch he wanted, got very weak contact, just put in the perfect spot. Nothing Hicks could do about that either. Now we're going to have the first baseman, Banks Engel.
You talked about it earlier with the fact that this is a doubleheader and it is just game 1 of this series played over 2 days. You are trying to save arms as you're going to be right back out here approximately 5 p.m. this evening. So the longer and the more you can get out of Swartz, the better here for the Lions.
Yeah, that's kind of why that Friday night roll, Friday night in quotations, as we're playing on a Sunday afternoon, that number 1 starter role, you want somebody like Swartz who has shown they can consistently pitch deep into games. So the last thing you want to do is tax your bullpen on the first game of a 3-game series, especially when you have to play another one on that same day. And as we have known over our time here, the way the weather is in Demarest and the Southeast in February, March, April, a lot of these Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend series turn into not Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They turn into a doubleheader on at least one day. Now Swartz will have to do a little bit extra work. He'll check on the runner at first with a little step off the rubber and back pick.
Always tough when you've got tournament competitions and you start tweaking with schedules. We were very fortunate those 2 opening weekends here with tournament play at Loudermilk Field to not have to alter any schedules.
Swing and a miss. by Engel. And Swartz 1 strike away from working through the 6th. Been a highly impressive outing so far for the junior left-hander. We'll see if he can potentially put an exclamation point on it here in the 6th inning. And time called. Field umpire. Oh, looks like it's going to be a pitch clock violation on Swartz. Just going to go as an extra ball and count even 2-2. Winding the pitch and swung on a miss. Swartz has his 8th strikeout of the afternoon. He's through 6 innings. The Lions lead it 7-1. Back here at Loudermilk Field, it's been a solid afternoon so far for the Lions. They go to the bottom of the 6th inning, up 7-1 on Methodist. Still some work to do, but Danielle, great outing from Zeke Swartz once again.
Absolutely impressive work, continuing the trend with 6 or more strikeouts in each appearance, 8 so far today. And the Lions offense doing their part in the home half as well. 7 runs on 11 hits.
Leading things off, number 3 hitter Trace Cate is at 3-4-5 for the Lions. Tanner Simpson still on the mound for Methodist. He's been effective in relief of the starter Andrew Bauer. And that will miss down and in. 2-0 the count. We say that if we know Swartz is done. We're not sure. He could potentially come out, as Coach Scally could maybe try to squeeze another inning out of him in the 7th. But if that is it for him, what a job, as Cate lashes one foul just past the third base bag. Cate 0 for his first 2, but singled his last time up. That's a count in his favor. That one chopped on the ground to short, 2 hops. Rogers up with it. The throw is on time. Nabs Cate by a step and a half at first, and there is one down here in the bottom of the 6th. And that was the familiar music of Kyle Carlson stepping in.
Closing in on 3 o'clock local time, just about 2 hours into this contest, working here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, making up some time after we started a few minutes late. 2 hours, almost 2 hours in, as you said, as Carlson takes ball 1 down and away. Had more hit by pitches almost than walks today. Piedmont took 2 hit by pitches in the same inning as Carlson takes a called strike. Carlson 1 for 3. 2 hard hit balls. And that one is skied on the infield. Could be a tough play. Infielders converging, and the third baseman cannot make the play. The wind just blew that one away from the third baseman. And I guess it'll go as an infield hit. As we've seen Carlson, if you looked at, if you tracked exit velocity of his center field line out that did not go as a hit, probably somewhat nearing 100. And then if you looked at that one, not nearly as much, but he reaches first base. Baseball can be funny sometimes.
Still battling 17-mile-an-hour winds here at Loudermilk Field. Sure, you can hear it occasionally. Flag kind of wrapped around the pole right now, so not really. There you go. Now you see it in your screen, blowing straight out to right. So definitely still seeing that impact here in the game.
I don't know about you, but on that last play, when it looked like the shortstop probably just didn't see it, but when he gave way to the third baseman, I kind of knew it was trouble because the way the wind has shown it's blowing so far today.
He had a tough angle to make.
Yeah, he had to run a little bit farther than I think he thought he would. When he said he had that ball, the wind was like, maybe you don't have that. As Barton will take a called strike for a 2-1 count. Mack is 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored in today's game. And he'll take a ball just down and in. And he'll have a hitter's count 3-1. This is the kind of pitch you want to see, or the kind of count you want to see Barton work himself into. He can look from one pitch, one spot, and try to lift one out to right field. Ooh, he was at least 7.5 down the first base line. The home plate umpire said, just wait a second.
Let's try that again.
Yes, Barton probably thought that was high and away. Either one of each or maybe both. And that one swung on and missed. As good job by Simpson to battle back from the 3-1 count. Executed a couple really nice pitches and sets down Barton on strikes for the second out of the inning.
Mentioned it in the last half inning that Nelson and Hicks, the only two not to record a hit so far today, as there are 12 hits for the Lions. Nelson did reach, but still looking for his first hit of the day, ready to join the party.
Nelson fly out victim to center his last time. Hit that ball pretty sharply, just in the wrong spot. We'll see now with 2 outs and 1 on if Carlson is a stolen base threat. He has not stolen a base so far this year. But then again, neither had Barton until today. One 0 now to Nelson. Always a very discerning eye at the plate. Works himself into good counts consistently, and he'll take a breaking ball over for strike 1. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. A little chilly, a little windy. Well, very windy, actually. And that one will find the top of the strike zone for a called strike 2.
Cold and windy, some might say brisk and breezy.
Brisk and breezy, cold and windy. Either way you want to put it. Could be worse. Could be better, but could be worse.
Doesn't it feel like spring break?
It does. Happy spring break to all.
It at least looks beautiful out there.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
Through the video.
If you looked at it.
Pristine.
Like I don't see any clouds.
Not a one.
Nelson, line drive, left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And there's his first base hit of the game.
Join the party.
Nelson breaks into the hit column. That's Piedmont's 13th hit as a team. And even more importantly, it gets Isaac Molinak to the plate, who is the last guy that the Methodist Monarchs want to see today. He has reached base all 3 times. He scored 3 runs. Has a double. Has a walk. He's doing it all. Taking advantage of that start in left field today. That one's hit sharply through the hole. That's a base hit as well. Coming around third is Carlson. He's going to score without a throw. And it is 8-1 Lions.
How many outs are there?
I believe there are 2 outs.
2 outs.
Another 2-out run scored by Piedmont. And the 2-out magic continues. I want to say that's all 8 runs have been scored with 2 outs in this game.
I'm pretty sure we can get that stat for you between innings. I don't know if your stat geek over here is fast enough to make that happen.
I know at least 7 of the. I cannot remember last inning if the mix single that brought in a run was also with 2 outs. But either way, it's 8-1 Lions, and Owen Helgeson cranks one out to left field. That's hit well. Backpedaling, though, is the left fielder Hartman. He has just enough room to make the grab. Piedmont tacks on an extra run. They lead 8-1. They leave 2, and we go to top of the 7th inning. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field. Piedmont 8, Methodist 1 as we go to the top of the 7th. We were kind of having the discussion about whether or not Zeke Swartz would return to the mound for the 7th, and number 9 is back out on the mound. He'll face 7, 8, 9 in the order. Starting with the shortstop, Caleb Rogers, and first pitch is a strike. 96th pitch of the game for Swartz, so we'll see what kind of leash he has as he runs that pitch count up near the triple-digit mark.
And for those of you following along from the last inning, Joseph Garwood always on top of it with stats. All 8 runs for Piedmont, scored with 2 outs on the board.
Clutch hitting, something that you love to see. Inside corner fastball by Swartz gets the feet moving. He's shown that pitch multiple times. The hard pitch for a left-hander to get, that two-seam fastball that starts. When it comes out of the hand, that right-handed batter looks like it's coming for straight for their kneecaps, and then they gets them to back out, and then it has just enough movement to catch the inside corner of the plate to get an easy called strike. Good pitch again. Doesn't get the call or the chase as Tyler Nelson sails one past Swartz. Backing it up is Mix. No harm, no foul with no one on base.
Next pitch will be number 100.
1-2 now, coming to Rogers. That one's chopped foul. Good pitch by Swartz, kind of fastball tailing off the end of the bat of Rogers. And we'll do the 1-2 once more. Outfield playing very shallow for Rogers. Don't expect him to hit it for a ton of power. That one's cracked out toward right center. Backing up is Kate. Makes a lunging attempt, doesn't get it. Rolling to the wall, rounding second and heading for third. And a stand-up triple for Caleb Rogers to start the inning. We mentioned it, I said it right before the pitch that he was playing. Noticed that the outfield was playing pretty shallow, and Rogers, tip your cap to him. He sent that one out toward right center pretty far.
I want to give the second baseman a break tomorrow.
Now up to bat, second baseman Brandon Mauger. We'll see if Swartz can work out of it. First pitch sails up and away for ball number 1.
You said it to start the inning. We'll see how long the leash is here in the 7th inning with a couple guys up throwing for Piedmont, knowing that the end of the line is near, and just how near to be determined.
Skied out towards shallow left. Backing up is the shortstop Mix, not nearly deep enough to score the runner from third. And Mix has extended his outing by at least one more batter as he retires Mauger, the second baseman, for out number 1. I was going to say my guess would be that he would at least get him through the bottom of the order. We'll see. My guess would be if he retires Green, he'll give him a chance to get through the leadoff hitter Melvin and get through the top of the 7th. If Green were to reach, my guess would be that he'll go to the bullpen, but we will see. Inside corner fastball called strike 1 to Caleb Green. If you look at the Piedmont defensive alignment, Carlson nearly even with the bag. The other 3 are playing back. Piedmont willing to concede a run for it out on a ground ball, obviously with this 7-run lead. Just need to get outs. That one's spoiled foul by Green, and Swartz up in the count 0-2. That one's hit sharply. One hop, handled by Mix. Throw across is on target and on time. Methodist will plate a run as Rogers comes home on the RBI ground out. 8-2 Lions, but a trade the Lions willing to make.
Lots of room to wiggle with there on the scoreboard. Mix making the smart decision to get the sure out, concede the run. will live to fight another day.
Now you got 2 outs, bases empty. Almost pretty much starting clean. That one's poked out toward right. Looks like Cade had a little trouble finding it, and he does make the catch. His hat loses his hat. Maybe his sunglasses were chasing it down out in right field. But either way, Swartz is through 7. Piedmont leads 8-2. We will go to the 7th inning stretch here at Loudermilk Field. Welcome back to Loudermilk Field. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Piedmont 8, Methodist 2. Game 1 of 2 here today. Second game of this doubleheader scheduled to start at 5 p.m. And the offensive catalyst coming up will be Nathan Mix. He'll face a new Methodist pitcher. It's going to be number 27, Drew Muschbacher, who has not yet appeared in a contest this season.
Mix 3 for 3, 3 singles on the day.
They've been very productive singles. 4 RBIs for the shortstop. As we mentioned earlier, tied his career high RBIs. Had 4 last season against Maria. 9-1-2 due up for the Lions. Cole Ellis, Colton Hicks waiting next after Mix.
If the Lions are able to get something going this inning, there's a chance you could see him again, potentially in an RBI spot before the end of this one.
Muschbacher delivers in the spoiled foul by Mix. At this point, if you're Methodist, you don't really want to burn any more of your bullpen. Even though they looks like they're potentially looking likely they're going to take the loss here in game 1, but they've only had to use 3 pitchers so far. That one's hit sharply, and that one's into left field. A little bit of an olay there by the third baseman Melvin, but that ball was hit with a lot of pace. Should go as Mix's 4th hit of the ball game.
We might be finding out how Mix can interview himself. We talked about it earlier. He's been our interview guy for the post-game interviews as a sportscom major here at Piedmont. But what do you do when you're the one putting in the offensive production?
Yeah,
might have to see the next man up.
Yeah, we'll see who else can. If there's anything other good interviewers in the Piedmont dugout. Cole Ellis hits the first pitch foul past third. Mix has 4 hits, has not scored a run yet though. We'll see if the top of this Piedmont order can change that. Pitch misses down in the dirt for ball number 1 to Cole Ellis.
A blast from the past name, not a communications major, but a great interviewer. Matt Vonderschmidt.
Former elite bullpen arm for the Lions. That one's hit sharply to short, and that one rolls right up the arm of the shortstop. Rogers headed to third is mixed. He'll make it easily, and that'll probably be the third error of the game for the Monarchs. Hit pretty sharply, but that's a play that was potentially a tailor-made double play. Instead, there's no outs in the inning still, and Piedmont starting something again, this time with no outs. Now we'll see if Colton Hicks can join the party. He's the only Lion so far without a base hit. He struck out 3 times, left 2 on. As a team, we were talking in the half inning, Piedmont has left 9 runners on base, so honestly, this lead could be even more. Pitch is a called strike. Runner goes, pitch is a ball inside. The throw down is on target, and caught stealing is Cole Ellis. That's the first time he's been caught stealing this season. A lot of times that first and thirds, they're not going to throw it through. But you saw the arm on there on Hunter Holman, the catcher, and 1 out in the inning. And Hicks fouls that one straight back for strike number 2. We've mentioned the 2-out magic for the Lions in this game, and you look at the pitching stats for Methodist. Piedmont went 6 for 8 with 2 outs against the starter Bauer. They went 5 for 9 with 2 outs against Tanner Simpson, who pitched the bulk of the game in relief. Impressive stuff. And Muschbacher unable to get Hicks to chase that one on the dirt. Runs things even 2-2. And another good take by Hicks. That one misses down and in to run things full. Breaking ball at top of the strike zone, called strike 3. Hicks looks, I would say, perplexed. And he will make the slow walk back to the dugout. 4th time Hicks has gone down on strikes in this ball game, and now it'll be up to Trace Kate. Lions, if they're going to score any runs this inning, it's going to have to be, again, with 2 outs.
So far, that's been the story of the game, so it seems like the Lions are right where they want to be with Mix at third, Trace Kate at the plate.
Any runs scored from this point forward in this inning unearned after the error by the shortstop earlier in the inning.
I was going to ask how that played out, since Cole was the one who reached on the error and then was the first out, being out on the base paths.
But we're off the hook now with 2 outs. We'll see if Trace Kate can get the job done. And that one bends over the inside edge for strike 1. Kate, 1 for 4. Piedmont's top 3, we mentioned it earlier, but now that they've gone through 5 times, or Kate now for his 5th time, the top 3 are 2 for 14. And the Lions have still put up 8 runs and 15 hits. So pretty impressive stuff from the 4 through 9 guys, I'd say. Kate works the count in his favor. We'll see a 2-1. That one's laced out to left. It will hang up and be caught by the left fielder, Banks Hartman. Lions strand 1. We go to the top of the 8th. Piedmont 8, Methodist 2.
No runs.
Rolling right along to the top of the 8th inning. Zeke Swartz's afternoon is done. He gives way to the right-hander, Tyler Roon. Roon comes in with solid numbers to start his season. 3 appearances so far, 3 innings. Actually, not 3 innings, 4 2/3 innings. 4 hits, 1 run allowed, 3 walks, and a strikeout for the senior righty. And the first pitch is skied foul. Jackson Deal leading things off for the Monarchs. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for Methodist here in the top of the 8th. 6 more outs to get for the Lions to bank their 7th win of the season. Roon finds the zone for strike 2.
For Swartz's longest outing of the season, going a full 7. Adding another 8 strikeouts to his total. I believe that's now 30 on the season.
Roon, good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 pitches, sets down Deal, and a quick out for Roon. Now we'll see the 3-hitter, the catcher, Hunter Holman. We'll see how Roon does against these left-handed hitters. His delivery, always very tough on righties, kind of steps across and throws across his body a little bit. Real tough angle for right-handed hitters, but it looked like Holman had trouble seeing that one. Good breaking ball. He swings over the top for strike 1. Second pitch is fouled straight back, and Roon ahead in the count 0-2.
Making quick work so far.
That's exactly what you want to see, Coach Galley pitching mind. When you got a 6-run lead and 6 outs to get, the last thing you want is somebody messing around. You want them to go right after. This one's hit off the end of the bat. This could be trouble. They should let it go foul. They do, as Carlson picks it up foul.
It took its sweet time to get there.
Yeah, that was one where there was no chance. The only chance you had was to let it go or hope that it rolled foul. And Carlson made the wise move. Harmless foul ball, as Holman will now have to battle, as Roon has him in an 0-2 hole. Tried to waste one and get a chase, and Holman does not bite. 4-1.
The only thing biting right now is the wind. It's maybe it's because we're just standing still. Mm-hmm. It feels colder.
Yeah, it's the headset's the only thing keeping us warm. And Roon will miss off the plate away, even things up at 2-2. Yeah, we've been somewhat lucky not having too many freezing cold games here at Loudermilk Field to start the year. As that one swung on a miss, gets away briefly from Nelson. He's going to have to make a quick throw, and he does. That's a swing and strikeout. 2-3 on the putout. And one of those underrated plays that like not a lot of catchers in this level are going to make, able to keep that ball in front of him, keep his poise, able to quickly corral the baseball, make a strong, accurate throw to first base. Big second out there. Now we'll see if Roone can take care of Banks Hartman to close this inning out. That one is lined into right. That's down for a base hit, headed for the right field corner. Hartman will dig for second. Kate will sling it into the infield. It'll be a stand-up 2-out double for Banks Hartman. That will be his second hit of the afternoon. And now we'll see Justin Blunt, who came on as a pinch hitter last time through the order and reached on an infield single. Quick swing there by Hartman. You can kind of see how and why he is off to such a strong start at the plate this season. He is one of two Monarchs with a multi-hit game. Caleb Rogers, a shortstop, the other. And Roone misses high and in for ball one.
One of 3 extra base hits now for the Monarchs. Pair of doubles and a leadoff triple an inning ago.
Yeah, Rogers burned to the outfield that was playing him shallow and hit it to the right center gap over the head of Trace Kate. As Roone misses inside again for ball two. And that one will find the zone. 2-1. Banks Engel, the first baseman, waiting on deck. Engel is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts on the day. And Roone off the plate there. Don't want to start messing around. He's a ball away from putting another runner on. 3-1. Big swing. Barely got a piece of that one. Fouled it straight back here. Into the crowd.
That was real close to a puppy.
We've had 2 of those today. Dog, everyone's gotta keep a head on a swivel when you got the pup on the leash. 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Roone K's 2 in the inning. Keeps Methodist off the scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Piedmont 8, Methodist 2.
No errors, 1 left on.
Headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. Couple changes on the Methodist end. Into pitch, Number 26, Anthony Miali. New catcher is number 31, Joey Sweeney. It's a brand new battery for the Monarchs. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Hopefully for Piedmont last time up at the dish. Carl Carlson leading things off, and he'll take ball 1 up and away. Carlson, solid afternoon at the plate. 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. Based on how he's hit the ball, he should probably be 2 for 4, but they would come in a different order as he'll take a called strike. Had a line out on a really hard hit ball in his first at bat, and last time he reached on a infield pop-up that was sent to the moon. A wind aided infield single. As Carlson will take another ball to run things to 2-1. Misses inside again. Miali, just 1 appearance. He's thrown just a third of an inning, allowed a hit, and recorded a strikeout. Muschbacher had a solid inning of work, and Carlson will take a leadoff walk. Cue the music. Now we'll see Mac Barton, 2 for 4. He had gotten his average to 500 at one point today. Looks like it might have fallen below, but he's hitting 500 today, 2 for 4.
Still above 400 on the season.
That one will get away briefly from the catcher, Sweeney, but far enough for Carlson to advance on the wild pitch. Good read by Carlson. You're taught to read that ball in the dirt, kind of out of the pitcher's hand, so you don't have to wait, and Carlson got a good jump. Took second base easily. One 0 now to Barton. He'll square a bunt and pops it foul straight back. Not a bad idea, but kind of surprising to see him squared a bunt with your only hitter that has hit a home run this season, and an 8-2 lead. Not a bad skill to have, though. And that one sounded like it hit Barton. It looked like it grazed him. It did, and he will reach on a hit by pitch. 3rd hit by pitch for the Lions today. They've Barton, Nelson, and Molinak, so the 5 through 7 hitters in the order, have all taken one for the team.
Miali has only pitched a third of an inning coming into today, and is, well, frankly at this point, hoping to get a third of an inning.
Yep.
With how this has gone so far.
Last thing you want to do is, if you're Tom Austin, is have to burn through relievers to get through this game, with another one today and another one tomorrow. But we will see as Nelson takes ball 1. Nelson his first hit of the game came in his last at bat. Line drive single to left field. This one's cranked out toward left center, hit very well. It'll stay in the ballpark, though, as Hartman will retreat a few steps and make the grab for out number 1. Off the bat, I thought that one had potentially some juice, but not quite enough. And now we'll see one of the 2 offensive stars for the Lions. Molinak and Mix, if you go look at their stats, they are combined 7 for 7 with 7 RBIs and 3 runs scored.
It's a pretty big portion of your stat line from today's game.
Yeah, those 2 have gotten the job done in the 7 and 9 spots in the batting order. So kind of the unsung heroes of the lineup. They have done their part in helping the Lions build a big lead here late in this one. Breaking ball in the dirt. Carlson read the ball in the dirt, tries to take off, and he will dive in ahead of the throw another one where Carlson doesn't have the, if you were to time him home to first, not the fastest Lion on the team, but it takes more than speed to be a good base runner. Good instincts there by Carlson. Broke on that one. I think a wild pitch on both. Although still smart play by Barton to trail the runner. This one too hopper to short. Up with it Rogers. Cross the diamond for out number 1. Coming across the plate is Carlson. Molinak with his 4th RBI of the afternoon. So even when he makes an out, it's been productive. Sadly, the 2-out scoring streak has been broken as the Lions scored their first 8 runs of the game. If you weren't with us earlier, scored their first 8 runs of the game with 2 outs before that last one, as Mix will take, or rather Helgeson will take a called strike 1.
She always used to go.
2 outs. If Helgeson can reach, Mix will get a chance to go for a 5-hit game. So we'll see if the Lions first baseman will give him that chance. Helgeson, a senior, has not ever really been the regular starter at first base until this season. He's always been a very solid defender, has played as a defensive replacement consistently, but he's off to a strong start at the plate. And if you don't get solid defense at first base, he's going to save your infield a ton of errors on his ability to dig throws out of the dirt. If he can contribute offensively at the bottom of the order, that's just a bonus. One, two. Poked out toward right. That's going to get down for an RBI single. And Piedmont sees double digits on the run column. They lead 10-2 as Helgeson places Barton, and more importantly, it gives Mix a chance to go for a 5-for-5 game.
I said if the Lions could get something cooking, that there was a chance you could see Mix come back up to the plate. It would take a little effort for this one to be an RBI for him, or an RBI situation, but Mix is capable of it, as he's shown.
Yeah, would not count him out. He's 4 for 4 with 4 RBIs, and he's got another chance in the bottom of the 8th to tack on another one.
Now the bigger question here is whether you want to pitch to him.
Yeah, I mean, the Piedmont bottom of the order has, as we've mentioned, has done the damage. Cole Ellis in the on-deck circle. He's 1 for 5 today. Always a threat as well, but Mix seems like he is seeing the baseball very well, which is a good sign for things to come.
Talked about earlier that Piedmont had left 10 on the base paths. Cole Ellis, who's waiting on deck, left on base 4 times. The only reason he wasn't left on last time, which would have been his 5 at-bats, was because he was caught stealing out at second. Otherwise, he'd have made it 5 times and been stranded all of them.
Yeah, Mix, as we mentioned, Mix has 4 hits. He has not scored a single run. Ooh, that's a good breaking ball from Miali, and Mix, he waited on it, still couldn't find the swing and timing though. 2-2 with 2 outs. Skipped in the dirt. Nice block there by Holman. Keeps Helgeson at first. Payoff pitch coming up. Be interesting. Ellis is in the on-deck circle. We'll see what Coach Galley decides to do with the pitching situation. Arun had a pretty routine 8th inning, so we'll see if he goes back out for the 9th to close this thing out. Hanging breaking ball, and Mix was all over that one. Yanks it foul into the netting. .3:40 p.m. As we mentioned, we are scheduled to play Game 2 of this doubleheader at 5 p.m. Coming up near the 3-hour mark of this Game 1. Mix fights off another one, and that will get foul out of play. Methodist, 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. The Lions, 10 runs, 16 hits, and no errors. the kind of score line that you like to see. Breaking ball, mix. Still battling. One of the things that Coach Scally has always said is he wants his guys to not give away at-bats, to always have quality at-bats, and got to give Mix credit. He's already 4 for 4. Piedmont's up 10-2 here in the 8th inning, and he's still battling.
8 pitches in, fouled off the last 3.
And make it 4. Way out ahead of that one. Hit that one off the roof of the indoor hitting facility down the left field line. So he spoiled pitches every which way. He's fouled them straight back, off to the left, off to the right.
Now we're looking to send one forward.
Now, that's the one thing he hasn't done. So we'll see if he can straighten one out and turn this lineup over, get Cole Ellis a 6th plate appearance in this ballgame. And straight back. We'll do it again. This is one you're really wanting this at bat to end if you're Owen Helgeson, because when it's 3-2 with 2 outs, you're running on every pitch. So
he'll be exhausted.
So he's going to get his cardio in early today. So maybe he is begging Nathan Mix to put the ball in play on this 3-2. And it'll be ball 4. Mix with an incredible at-bat. I believe 11, 12 pitches on that at-bat. Gets the fist bump from assistant coach Trey Pierce down at first base. That's a quality AB from Mix. He's reached base 5 times this afternoon and played a pretty slick shortstop as well today. So kudos to him for an outstanding game 1. Now we'll see an RBI chance for Cole Ellis. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. That one will get away straight to the backstop. Sweeney unable to corral it. That'll go for a wild pitch. Both runners that move up to third and second. We'll have Helgeson at third after his extensive cardio at first base the last at bat.
That was a leisurely trot this time.
He at least got to jog to second base on the walk and not have to put too much effort into advancing on that wild pitch. A lot of room between the home plate and the backstop here at Loudermilk Field, so no need to exhaust himself much more, as that one's in the dirt for ball 3. 3-0 count. We'll see if Cole Ellis has the red light or green light. Normal situation, definite red light, but maybe with a 10-2 lead. He'll take all the way, and it'll be a called strike 1, top of the zone. Zeke Swartz is in line for the win. Would be, as we mentioned, would be his first of the season. Andrew Bauer on the hook for the loss. He dropped to 1-3. And that one off the plate as well. Bialy is having trouble reining in here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and now the bases are loaded. Colton Hicks, who is the one Lion in need of a base hit.
Nothing if not poetic for Colton Hicks to be up to the plate now. Piedmont now sending in a pinch runner over at first. That's going to be Matt Dupuis, who will enter defensively in center field for Cole Ellis.
Probably a smart move with Ellis, as we mentioned, has battled some injuries early on in the year. Game, you're up 8 when you got 2 more to play this weekend. Go ahead and get him out of there and let him rest a little bit. We'll see Colton Hicks takes ball 1 inside. 1-0 the count. Hicks 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts so far. So if anyone needed another AB to try to get some positive vibes or feels going into the next game, it would be him, as he'll take another one off the plate for ball 2. Bialy has had trouble finding the zone here in this inning. We are And Hicks has not gotten the bat off his shoulder. Another one off the plate, 3-0 the count. And you got to know you don't want to have to make another pitching change here late, but the Methodist does have action in their bullpen. And that one's not even close as well. Hicks will reach base for the first time this afternoon. Get the credit for the RBI as Helgeson trots home. And we're going to have a mound visit. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're back after the mound visit. Bases loaded for Trace Kate. 4 walks in the inning issued by Miali. And my guess will be he gets one more hitter to see if he can find the zone, and he does there. Tate swings right over the top of it for strike 1. 11-2, the Lions are out front. Nothing better than a nice, potentially very comfy win in the first game of a 3-game set. Ball sails up and in. 1-1 to Kate.
Lions now score in double figures for the 4th time this season. All 3 previous, or wins for the Lions as well.
I believe all three potentially at home as well.
Yes. Bats are hot at home.
After a cold start to the year, they have come raging to life since then. 1-2 to Kate. Breaking ball stays high. Evens things up 2-2.
2's across, bases loaded.
Swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. And they'll step on home plate to record the final out of the inning. Lions leave them loaded, but add on and lead 11-2. We go to the top of the 9th.
Pitch hitting to the Monarchs, number 14, Colton Rutledge.
We're back, top of the 9th inning. Matt Dupuis takes over in center field as he pinch ran for Cole Ellis back in the 8th. Pinch hitter coming to the plate for the the Monarchs, Colton Rutledge. Rutledge, freshman from Tallahassee, Florida. Rutledge just one at bat so far. He's 1 for 1 on the season. Has an RBI in that at bat. Rune evens the count with a strike, 1-1. And that'll be another one over the plate, taken for strike 2 to Rutledge. Tries to get a chase up and away, and Rutledge lays off. Count runs even to 2-2. Fouled straight back. Likely to see Peyton Irvin on the hill for game 2 of this doubleheader. And Rune just barely misses. Nelson tried to frame it, but unconvincing to the home plate umpire. Count runs full 3-2. And Rutledge spoils that one foul. Do the 3-2 one more time. Hopefully. And that one got away from Rune. It's going to be a hit by pitch, as Rutledge could not get away from that one. Leadoff man on with a free pass. And now we're going to have the shortstop, Caleb Rogers.
The shortstop, Caleb Rogers.
Rogers has a couple hits in this one.
Had a triple to lead off in the 7th inning.
Yeah, including that triple. Outfield still playing shallow, even though he burned him earlier. And that one misses up and in from Rune. Don't want to give away free passes when you're up by 9 in the 9th. And Rune falls behind 2-0. We'll see if he can work back in this count. And that's 3 in a row to Rogers, at least off the plate. That's a wind you can hear comes whipping through. That one's right down the middle for a called strike 1. Lifted out toward left center field. Giving chase is Molinak. He'll settle under for out number 1. Sigh of relief there by Rune. You know, sometimes when pitchers, even though they have normally good control, once they lose like 2-3 in a row out of the zone, sometimes it becomes a mechanical situation that's tough to get out of. We're on another pinch hitter. It'll be Cameron Seagroves, sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Local.
Hometown boy.
Local to Methodist. And that'll take a called strike 1. Seagroves 0 for 7 to start the year, so he's looking for that first base knock of the season. And that will miss just upstairs. Run things even 1-1. See if Rune can get the ball down, get a roll up a little double play in this one. Instead, he'll go breaking ball, front door, and called strike 2. Piedmont win would move the Lions to 7-4 on the season. Loss would drop Methodist back. Maybe a double play here. Hicks bobbles for a second, gets it to Mix, but no play at first. They'll go take the fielder's choice for out number 2. And we'll see at least one more batter. We'll have looks like potentially it'll be Caleb Green, starting right fielder. No pinch hitter here. The 9 hitter will hit. Going back in our records, going all the way back to 2005, the largest win by margin for Piedmont over Methodist in the series is 5. So the 9-run win, kind of a rarity in this series. As we mentioned earlier, both these programs consistently produce winning seasons. So nice accomplishment for the Lions if they can close this one out. That one stung out toward left field. That one will stay fair and get into the corner. Coming around third and being held at third base, tripping a little bit. That they all threw behind him to pick him off. But it will be a 2-out double by Caleb Green. Will get us back to the top of the order one more time. Leadoff hitter Tristan Melvin. Last hope for the Monarchs.
Methodist leads the series overall 22-13 for Piedmont. This would be just the 5th victory at home against Methodist. It would move them to 5-10 against the Monarchs at Loudermilk Field, with of course 2 more opportunities coming up, one right after this and another at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Room pumps in strike 1 to Melvin. Lions 1 out away from another victory. And there are now 1 strike away as Roon pops the outside corner of the fastball. 0-2 the count. Piedmont's won 6 of its last 7, and now they've won 7 of their last 8. Strikeout swinging, and Roon closed the door. He struck out 4 in the outing. Piedmont final 11-2. Winning pitcher is Zeke Swartz, losing pitcher Andrew Bauer. And Danielle, it's been fun.
Absolutely. Such a pleasure to be able to jump on the broadcast with you. First time in 6 years that you and I have been on a broadcast together. Gotta love it, especially when it's an 11-2 victory for the Lions. Love to see those double digits, 11 runs on 16 hits, maybe even more impressive, the 13 that were left on base. It could have been a much worse loss for the Monarchs. Piedmont able to still tack on 11, though, and make the most of it. We'll hope those bats stay hot heading into Game 2.
Absolutely. We'll have Game 2 coming up, likely around 5 p.m. Stay tuned to Piedmont Lions on X and Facebook, all social media, and check out our schedule page. Stay updated with all schedule changes. From Joseph Garwood, Danielle Percival, thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.